Hello, and welcome to another amazing day at Balanced Body, Peaceful Mind Summit. I'm honored and very happy to introduce you our next speaker, Miss Melody Grace. Melody offers a roadmap for those who look strong in the outside, but are silently carrying emotional exhaustion, spiritual weariness, and an invisible weight of trauma. As someone who doesn't look like she's lived through, Melody Grace gently reveals how to heal from the inside out, not through the performance or perfection, but through open-hearted, nervous system aware, soul aligned restoration with her philosophy of Soul Kaizen. You walk away not only inspired what is possible, but also equipped with practical steps to continue your own journey toward inner harmony and radiant presence on your own terms. Hello and welcome, Melody.
Hello, thank you, Anastasia. I'm honored to be here. It's a joy.
We're happy to have you here. So, as you said, you don't look like what you lived through. So, can you share a bit about your personal journey and how it shaped you through approach of healing and restoration?
Yes, so it's true. I am radiant in my natural state of being, but during the grittier time of my life, from the outside, I often looked composed, high functioning. Others thought of me as a reliable coworker, a loving partner, a fun, trustworthy volunteer. Even though on the inside, I was carrying years of unresolved trauma and hypervigilance, stress, and a fragmented sense of self. So um, it, I really know what it's like to be in a place where you have no idea where the next moment is going to come from. Is it going to be affectionate? Is it abusive? It's going to be toxic. Where your next meal is coming from. My story was used to raise community awareness and support in the California State University system for food insecurity and homelessness among the student population. So, I also, one of the other things, a big part of where I have been is not having any idea of whether or not I'm actually even going to be here tomorrow. So I I was confronting suicidal ideation, in response to the abusive experience in my upbringing. So that suicidal ideation actually started around age 7. And I learned to hold myself together, but my root level healing actually sprouted when I decided to stop performing strength and start nurturing my being. So my journey has been learning to nourish myself from scratch, just one soul-led recipe at a time.
Oh, it's beautiful. Wow. It sounds like you went through a lot. And just thank you so much for sharing your stories. That means a lot to a lot of people. I'm sure you're going to touch a lot of lives through your work. So your work is rooted in something you call Soul Kaizen. What does that mean?
Yes, so Soul Kaizen is the heart of everything that I teach. The word Kaizen comes from Japanese that means change for the better, continuous refinement. And Soul Kaizen emerged from learning how to be with myself with compassion in those places of abandonment and in those parts of me that I tried to bury um, in order to survive. So all of that, like I was saying, Soul Kaizen emerged through that while I was still going about my everyday life, because life doesn't stop. We have to learn our own rhythm of resting, eating, dancing, and the efforts that we put in to the things that we agree to do every day. So in Japanese philosophy, Kaizen honors patience, mindfulness, and subtle improvement over time. And so while classical Kaizen honors daily mastery, Soul Kaizen respectfully builds alongside that legacy within a dimension of soul alignment and vibrational clarity as the inner why behind your change and transformation. So,
Mhm.
as I said earlier, it emerged from that place of unconditional self-compassion. And so that's the soul aspect of Soul Kaizen.
Mhm.
So, and as for Kaizen itself, my encounter with that came from the business world where it's known as a lean management strategy. So when I was coaching, mentoring, supporting, and working alongside executive leaders, high-performing teams, nonprofit, professionals, young professionals, mid-career professionals, other volunteers and student leaders, I was teaching them how to go from survival mode, which I have a lot of experience in living in that mode, to sustainable well-being, which I had also successfully bridged. And I had been asked, how do I do that? So teaching these different communities how to go from survival mode to sustainable well-being in their environments, whether it was the workplace, school, the nonprofit setting, home, basically wherever they roam, using Soul Kaizen. So
Sounds like you have a lot of experience in the area and working with a lot of young people. Is that correct?
Yes, all generations actually, from the youngest in kindergarten, first grade. Because for a while I was working with some curriculum for K through 12, all the way up to mid-career. So those getting ready to ride off into retirement, and even beyond that, kept in touch with several of my retired friends. So basically, Soul Kaizen is like, it's like a living recipe you adapt. I'm checking my notes here. Sorry. My notes. So Soul Kaizen is a living recipe that you can adapt with your own intuition, your own taste, your own timing. And so I do a lot of my work, like I said in the beginning, as a soul-led recipe.
That's wonderful. So you often talk about root level healing instead of surface level symptom management. I call it Band-Aid. Just put a Band-Aid on a problem. So what are some signs that someone might be ready for that kind of deeper healing?
Okay, so some signs. Well, the Soul Kaizen is healing that meets you where you're at while gently guiding you towards congruence and harmony and deeper embodiment. So some of the signs that you're ready for the deeper root level healing is if you've tried formulas, if you've tried doing different modalities, you've done the surface level work, you've done your own inner work, but things still feel off. Emotionally, spiritually, energetically, something still feels off. So that's a sign that your inner healing wants to move deeper. And root level healing, it asks you to stop performing wellness and start cooking with the raw, unfiltered ingredients of your real life. So yeah, you don't need a perfect pantry. You just need to start with the willingness to stir the pot and then listen to what's simmering underneath. Listen to what's underneath the exhaustion, the control, any feelings of shame. So when you stop asking, how do I fix this? And start asking what needs to be witnessed and restored at the root, that's when you're really cooking. So if you've done the inner work, but you still feel stuck in the same cycles, that's often a sign your soul is calling for something deeper.
Wow. So for those judging chronic stress, that's most of us here in the US, right? Caregiving or burnout, emotional exhaustion can feel like a fog. So how does Soul Kaizen help, especially for someone who has been in survival mode for years?
So yes, when you're in survival mode, your nervous system doesn't need motivation. What it needs is safety. And when you're burned out, your nervous system isn't asking for more strategy. So survival is like when you're cooking a meal and you're without tasting it as you're going. You're rushing through life, you're checking boxes, you're holding it all together. The authentic self-mastery, which is what comes from Soul Kaizen, is knowing what your body and your soul need in this moment, right now. What does my body need? And then choosing it with loving intention. So in Soul Kaizen, this sounds like I get to adjust the heat, I get to change the ingredients, and I'm allowed to nourish myself without apologizing. So mindset helps you adjust recipes in your mind and in your head, but the embodiment, what you feel in your body and what's congruent throughout your your soul, your spirit, and yourself here. It tells you like if the dish is actually working, because you can, put different spices, different ingredients together. But you still need to feel it and taste it to see how's it turning out. So if your body doesn't feel safe, no amount of positive thinking is going to anchor your peace. Your body's going to override that logic every time. So Soul Kaizen weaves in that emotional wisdom from tuning into yourself with those somatic cues, because healing is a whole body effort, lived, felt, integrated. And that's
Mhm.
where the true restoration happens, when your body starts believing what your mind is knowing. So that's inner coherence and congruent embodiment, um, living through it moment by moment. Um, and that's how Soul Kaizen brings emotional regulation back, back to your body.
Oh, it's beautiful. Wow. So one of the goals of this summit is helping people to feel more spiritually grounded. So how does Soul Kaizen help people reconnect with faith, especially when they've been wounded or overwhelmed?
Okay. Well, for many of us, faith is like um, a family recipe that you pass down with care. And sometimes, as you're passing it along, like if somebody didn't start writing down the recipe, they just told you the recipe, sometimes it could be misunderstood. So, mm, with Soul Kaizen, it doesn't demand belief, it creates a space to feel the divine in your body again through presence, safety, and inner restoration.
Mm-hmm.
Let me take a quick moment. Can you hear that?
No.
Okay. That's my son at the door asking to be let in. I don't know if you want to keep that in the summit part, but
Oh, that's
real.
beautiful. So the Melody is a young mom, so she has a 2-year-old at her side. So he wants mom's attention. So that's we all humans. We all have some kids or pets at our house. This is all a new normal human life that we all live in. So I can't hear it through the microphone. So we good. If you're okay with that, we go with that.
Oh, he's with his dad. I can hear his dad with him, talking with him as well.
Well, he wants mom.
He wants mom. That's just how
Oh,
it is sometimes. So,
thank you so much for taking your time from your busy schedule, Melody, and being with us today.
well, thank you for having me. So let me reconnect. Um,
Mhm.
Not only reconnecting with their faith, with your faith, but using Soul Kaizen here. I'm going to go in. Sorry, just trying.
No, no problem at
I
all.
know that my son is safe. I know that he is. Uh, I know that he's safe. He is just wanting me at the moment, but he has his dad there, walking
Mhm.
him through it, talking him through his emotions,
Aw.
because we're all having emotions.
Mhm.
And that's the thing with Soul Kaizen for our audience. When
Mhm.
you're having a triggering moment, like your identity and what you're doing, like right now in the real, I am a mother, but I'm also guiding and sharing the knowledge and wisdom that I have to help you find ingredients for your life, for your side, so for your Soul Kaizen journey. And so attuning to the things around us, not ignoring it, not bypassing it, is integral with Soul Kaizen and just us as humans in general. So
Mhm.
I acknowledge that he's crying. I acknowledge the feeling that rose up in me, that the instinct to protect and to see and to make sure that he is safe and loved and nurtured. And then the discernment that comes from attuning, um, assessing whether or not he is all those things. Now that allows me to have safety in my own body. I'm not
Mhm.
suppressing this feeling that I felt of, oh, I need to make sure he's all right. I allowed it to bloom inside of me. And I don't know if you saw that on my face, but this is the process that you can use in real time. So
Mhm.
I felt it, took a moment to breathe when I realized that it's starting to trigger. And then I allowed the feeling to move through me, through the body, because that's how every neurobiological um, action has an exit. So that energy needs to come out of a physiological exit, through breath, through stillness, awareness. And I named it by pausing, breathing, and naming what I'm feeling in this moment. It gave me the agency and empowered me to choose self-healing. And that's key, being able to choose what is my next self-healing step, because the radical personal responsibility is part of the root level recipe, that is part of the bonus that we're going to share with you, audience, today. But being able to choose with clarity, what is my next self-healing step? So I know that he's safe. Am I safe? All right, I am safe now. Now, am I going to continue talking, or do we need to stop and go see this? All right, the next self-healing step at the moment is to go ahead and continue talking through this. So that way, in real time, both of us, we're all now co-creating this moment, this teachable moment that's so real and raw, just like our ingredients when we're cooking up in the kitchen. Real, raw ingredients that nourish our bodies, nourish our souls. And through that congruence between my body, my soul, and my spiritual energy, you can see in real time just how that Soul Kaizen process works. And it was all inside, but you might have been able to see it on my face and my body movements. So hopefully we got that back on track.
Yes, that's beautiful. Yes, that's definitely real and raw. So, and it's as being a mom, so we all triggered by our kids' cry. So this is it's very raw and real. So it cannot be any more real than that.
It's a
So that's
biological thing.
yeah, so true, so true. So what it's actually leads me that we went through just now, it leads me to the practical steps. So what simple practices that someone that people watching can incorporate in their day-to-day life?
Okay, so some practical steps. One practice is called emotional tracking, which you saw me demonstrate, where you pause and you locate where that feeling is coming from in your body. Name it without judgment. So that's the equanimous awareness, being open-hearted, breathing into that space with compassion for myself, because I'm a human. So breathe into it with compassion for yourself, because you're a human. You're doing the best you can do with what you have in this moment. And if you're asking more of yourself than what you can do, that's an unrealistic expectation. And a lot of times, especially as moms, we ask so much of ourselves that is actually beyond what we can actually do, and beat ourselves up for it.
Absolutely. Never stops.
Another practice is emotional anchoring. So speaking that soul truth out loud, which once again, we demonstrated here. So even if your voice is shaking, even if you don't, even if it's not super polished, speaking that truth out loud, which I'm calling accurate anchoring, because there's power in what's accurate. It empowers you, which is something I've observed as someone who is on the spectrum. So those tiny rituals, they're going to shift your energy. When you practice it consistently, you'll cultivate that attunement and that self-trust, and that safeness within your body, to continue growing and healing. Because you're not pushing it down anymore. You're not bypassing it. You're not, burying yourself. You're embracing yourself, your authentic self in all your real and rawness. So Soul Kaizen doesn't just help you cope. It teaches you to live from your authentic self.
Oh, that's beautiful. Wow. So like we went through real time, real practical teaching moment. So this is beautiful. That was how it meant to be. So thank you so much, Melody, for being here, taking a busy time, for being a mom, a wife, an author, a coach. So many hats you're wearing. So thank you so much for taking this time and being with us today. So
Oh, absolutely.
I know Melody prepared something special for our listeners. So I'm very
Yes.
excited to share and I'll let her talk about it.
Oh, yes. So before we go, Anastasia is going to be sharing with you the root level recipe. Um, it's going to take you in a much more organized way, what we demonstrated
Yeah.
here. That's that gentle, soul nourishing guide. The 5 core ingredients to help you realign with your authentic self when you're feeling triggered, when you're feeling fragmented, overwhelmed, burned out. So, inside of the root level recipe, you're going to find the grounding rituals that I did. A quick self assessment. And for those who like to journal, there's a journal prompts that you can do. Um, and it really depends on the best way that you learn, because um, when you actually take action in implementing it in small bite-sized manner, it becomes part of you. You cultivate that.
Mhm.
So again, inside, I'll walk you through the 5 essential ingredients for healing self-mastery, which are open-hearted, equanimous awareness, radical responsibility, healthy boundaries, consistently choosing, and next step clarity. So, um, you know, what some people call their highest timeline
Mhm.
isn't the perfected version of you. It's actually a lot more relatable and reasonable. Um, your highest timeline is where and when you live most authentically congruent with your soul's recipe. So even if you're still healing, still refining, still tasting and adjusting, the root level recipe will help you recenter and even savor the now, like we just did, like I
Mhm.
just did, um, not just the outcome. So I'm
Oh,
excited to share that with you.
I'm so excited for that. And I'm sure a lot of people get a lot of benefit from that. So thank you so much, Melody, for being here. And we are looking forward to connect in the future as well.
Oh, absolutely. It was a joy. Thank you, Anastasia. I really appreciate it. And if your audience wants to connect with me further, find me on Amazon.
Perfect. Perfect. We'll do that. So we're going to send those emails to our listeners with our video and free gift for Melody and some information how we can connect with her. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and have a blessed rest of your day.